and I call the member for Fowler.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise to share a conversation that really moved me with a young student in my electorate of Fowler. They contacted me recently telling me that they don't go on school excursions anymore. Their parents can't afford it, but it's more than that. The school itself is cutting back, unable to absorb the rising costs of bus hire, insurance and compliance. These students are now trapped within the classroom walls, missing out on the joy and learning that come from seeing the world beyond. That, Deputy Speaker, is the true face of cost of living crisis in Fowler. It is stealing opportunity, joy and education from our children and shrinking the capacity of our schools to deliver a broad and balanced education. Families in my community are at breaking point. Mums and dads are juggling sky-high rents, mortgage repayments and grocery bills. In areas like Liverpool West, where child poverty is a shocking 35%, this is not just tough. It is a crisis of survival that is stealing futures from our youngest. Families are sacrificing basic necessities just to keep a roof over their heads. Small businesses in Cabramatta, Fairfield and Liverpool are clinging by sheer willpower. These are shops and cafes built on generations of hard work and sacrifice. Yet they now face unprecedented costs for ingredients, freight and insurance. For many, keeping the lights on means working for free. It is heartbreaking to see their struggle, knowing that their hard work is being eroded by forces far beyond their control. In Fowler, diversity isn't a slogan, it is our strength. These are hard-working, family-oriented people who came to Australia for a better future. Yet many now tell me that they are working harder than ever just to stand still. Energy bills are one of the biggest burdens. The latest data shows that the average family electricity bill in New South Wales has soared by more than 20% in just the last 18 months. For a small business, that increase isn't just a percentage, it's the difference between hiring a staff member or closing down. It is a fundamental betrayal of trust when energy, a necessity of modern life, becomes a luxury. Deputy Speaker, our transition to cleaner energy must be affordable and achievable. The Albanese government's 82% renewable target by 2030 may sound ambitious, but ambition without affordability is ideology, not policy. There's no clear plan to guarantee that families and small businesses can afford the power bills that fund these transition lines and grid upgrades. Big national targets mean little if Australians in Fowler are forced to choose between switching on the heater or filling their car. Yes, the government has offered relief, a one-off 20% HEX debt cut, which is welcome, but it's a single band-aid on a gaping wound. They promise cheaper childcare, but that helps only the one-third of families who use formal care. For the rest, the bills keep rising. Rising. Insurance premiums are outpacing wages, and the cost of petrol and bread keeps crushing households' budgets. The result is not just financial stress, but an epidemic of exhaustion and anxiety across our suburbs. That is why, in my first term, I launched the Bring Your Bill Day initiative in Fowler, a small act of solidarity to bridge the gap left by Canberra's neglect. Residents bring their electricity or gas bills to our forum, and we sit down with them to help access rebates, negotiate fairer rates and find real savings. Later this month, we'll hold another event, bringing together families, small businesses and energy providers and community not-for-profits, because no one should be left behind, lost in red tape and when they're fighting to survive. Deputy Speaker, the people of Fowler are resilient. Their endurance is remarkable, but their capacity to absorb high costs is not infinite. I acknowledge that a cleaner energy path is vital for our nation's future, but that path must deliver real, tangible benefits, not more burdens, to mums, dads and small business owners who keep our communities running. A fair transition is one that keeps the lights on for everyone, not just in the corporate boardrooms, but in every kitchen, community hall and cafe across Fowler. Thank you, Speaker.